Meet Marcus, 44 years old, public school teacher in Dallas. To the naked eye, he's doing everything right. Now look at his neighbor. Let's call him Marcus B. Same age, same $4,900 monthly salary, same aging parent to support. But there is a lethal discrepancy between them. One Marcus is slowly draining his emergency fund on upgrades he didn't need, living paycheck to paycheck. The other is quietly building a fortress of cash. The difference isn't discipline, and it certainly isn't math. It's a psychological weapon I call the phantom option trap. The system uses it to extract $2,000 a year from your pocket. Money you think you're spending by choice. Today, I'm going to expose exactly how this algorithm hacks your brain, back it up with federal data, and give you the 3-step defense framework to stop the extraction. Here's what they don't tell you about the prices you see every day. They aren't just numbers. They are coordinates in a game designed to make you lose. The system, whether it's big tech, streaming services, or the banking cartel, knows that the human brain cannot evaluate value in isolation. We need context. So they manufacture it. They rig the context to force your hand. Let's look at the mechanics of this rig. You walk into a movie theater. You see 3 options. Small popcorn for $3, medium for $6.50, large for $7. A rational actor looks at this and asks, how much popcorn do I actually want? But the system knows you aren't a rational actor. You're a comparative 1. You look at the medium. It costs more than double the small, but gives you only slightly more product. It looks like a terrible deal, a ripoff. Then your eyes slide to the large. For just 50 cents more than that terrible medium, you get a massive bucket. Suddenly, the large doesn't feel like an expensive $7 indulgence. It feels like a steal. It feels like you beat the house. But you didn't beat anything. You just walked into the phantom option trap. The medium popcorn is the phantom. It is the asymmetric dominance, a useless option that exists solely to make the expensive option look superior. No one is supposed to buy the medium. It is a decoy planted there to manipulate your perception of value. Without the medium, you'd buy the small for $3. With the medium, you spend $7. That is a 133% revenue increase for the concession stand, extracted directly from your wallet purely by manipulating the architecture of choice. This isn't just about snacks. This is how the entire consumption economy is architected. Consider the difference between a rational shopper and a normal shopper. A rational shopper walks in, sees the trap, buys the $3 small because that's all they wanted, and leaves with $4 in their pocket. A normal shopper, terrified of being ripped off by the bad value of the medium, buys the large to maximize value, walking out $4 poorer. The system penalizes you for trying to be smart. They rely on your fear of a bad deal to push you into the most expensive one. This goes far beyond the cinema. When you buy a phone, there's the base model, the Plus that offers barely anything more for a huge markup, and the Pro that costs just a little more than the Plus. The Plus is the phantom. It herds you to the Pro. When you subscribe to software, or book a flight, or choose a bank account tier, the middle option is almost always a decoy. It is psychological warfare designed to bypass your logical defenses. And while you feel good about getting the best value, the algorithm is quietly siphoning wealth from your future. The real tragedy is that we view these as small, isolated purchases. A few dollars here for the large popcorn, a few extra bucks a month for the premium streaming bundle. But when you aggregate this behavior across an entire financial life, the numbers turn violent. The system is betting on your inability to see the cumulative damage. They are banking on it. Let's quantify exactly what this extraction costs you. It's not a few pennies. It's a silent salary cut. Aggregated data from Consumer Reports and spending analysis suggests the average American overspends by roughly $2,000 every year due to psychological pricing traps, like the decoy effect. That is $2,000 post-tax dollars. For the median worker, that isn't disposable income. That is survival capital. Let's put that number in perspective. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics 2025 data, The median monthly salary in the US is $5,213. When the system tricks you into surrendering $2,000 a year, they are effectively confiscating nearly half a month of your labor. Imagine working 2 weeks out of the year for free, just to hand your paycheck directly to a corporation because they tricked you into buying the pro version of a life you didn't need. That is the reality of the phantom option trap. This extraction is particularly lethal right now. The Federal Reserve's December 2025 analysis proves the personal savings rate has plummeted to just 3.5%. That is the margin of error for most families. We are walking a financial tightrope. When the system extracts $2,000 from a household, saving only 3.5% of their income, they aren't just taking luxury money. They are devouring the safety net. They are eating the money meant for medical emergencies, for car repairs, for freedom. Let's go back to Marcus. Remember, he's a teacher in Dallas earning $4,900 a month. He's not rich. He has fixed costs that don't care about psychology. $1,650 for rent. $400 to help his aging mother with medical bills. He's left with a tight margin. But Marcus is currently trapped in the current reality. He feels the pressure of inflation. He feels the squeeze. So when he sees a deal, he jumps on it to feel in control. He upgrades his tech plan for an extra $15 a month because the mid-tier option was trash. He buys the premium coffee subscription because the basic one made no sense. He upgrades his flight to Economy Plus because Economy was too restrictive and the upgrade was only $40 more. These small surcharges tally up to $170 a month. To Marcus, this feels like living. But let's look at the damage. Marcus has a goal, a $31,000 emergency fund to protect his family. At his current rate, losing that $170 a month to the decoy effect means he is delaying his safety net by over a year. He is staying vulnerable for 12 extra months because the algorithm convinced him that the premium option was the smart buy. This is how the system keeps you on the treadmill. They dangle value in front of you to distract you from the fact that they are picking your pocket. Contrast this with Marcus B, the projected reality. He faces the exact same $4,900 salary and the exact same $1,650 rent, but he sees the phantom option. When he buys a phone, he ignores the decoy and buys the base model. When he buys coffee, he buys the commodity, not the experience. He saves that $170 a month. He hits his emergency fund goal significantly faster. He isn't smarter. He just refuses to play their game. He has opted out of the extraction. Comment below if you've been hit by the phantom option trap recently. Whether it was a subscription, a device, or a value meal that cost you double what you planned. So how do you become Marcus B? How do you build a defense system against a cartel of PhDs and algorithms designed to separate you from your money? You need a framework. I call it the Decoy Defense Framework. It's not about willpower. It's about changing your operating system to reject their code. Step 1 is to define true need. The trap works because you enter the transaction without a hard target. You go in looking for a phone, and you let the menu tell you what you want. The defense is to define the spec before you see the price. I need 128 gigabytes of storage and a working camera. That is the anchor. If you walk onto the car lot or the website without an anchor, you are driftwood. The tide of their pricing model will carry you exactly where they want you to go, to the most expensive option. Step 2 is to identify the phantom. You need to spot the asymmetric decoy. Look for the option that seems stupid. Look for the medium popcorn. The moment you see an option that offers terrible value compared to the expensive one, alarms should go off in your head. That isn't a product. It's a shepherd's dog barking you toward the cliff. When you see the decoy, realize the game is rigged. Laugh at it, and then ignore it completely. Step 3 is the calculation. You must quantify the opportunity cost. The system wants you to think in monthly payments. It's only $15 more a month. You need to think in compound interest. Let's run the numbers on Marcus's $170 monthly decoy tax. If he takes that $170 and invests it instead of handing it to the tech giants, the picture changes legally. The S&P Dow Jones Indices data shows a 10.1% annualized return over the last decade. If Marcus invests that $170 a month into a standard S&P 500 index fund, over 10 years, he doesn't just have his money back, he has approximately $34,000. That is the cost of the Decoy. It's not $15 a month. It is a $34,000 check you are writing to a corporation that doesn't care if you retire broke. Even if he just parks it in a risk-free, high-yield savings account, earning 4.2% APY, rates confirmed by Bankrate as of June 2024, he's still sitting on thousands of dollars of liquid freedom. This is the choice. You can have the premium subscription and the pro phone, or you can have $34,000 in your investment account. You cannot have both. The system is betting you will choose the short-term dopamine hit of the upgrade. They are betting you won't do the math. They are betting that you will stay a normal shopper, fearful of a bad deal, while they rob you blind with the expensive one. We have exposed the mechanics. We know that the medium option is a lie. We know that the deal is a trap. And we know that the cost is a massive wealth transfer from your family to their balance sheet. To recap what we exposed today, first, the system uses asymmetric dominance, the phantom option, to hack your perception of value. Second, this manipulation costs the average American household $2,000 a year, destroying your ability to build a safety net in an economy that already penalizes savers. And third, by simply anchoring your needs and ignoring the decoy, you can reclaim that wealth and compound it into tens of thousands of dollars. Here is your mission for this week. Do not just watch this video and nod. Go to your bank statement. Look at your last 5 upgrades. Look at the subscriptions where you picked the gold tier because silver looked weak. Identify one phantom option you fell for. Cancel it. Downgrade it. Take that difference, whether it's $10 or $100, and set up an automatic transfer to your savings account. Do it tonight. Prove to yourself that you are in control of your capital. If you are done being a revenue stream for a rigged system, subscribe. Next week, I'm decoding the loyalty penalty that punishes you for staying with your insurance provider. Join the resistance against algorithmic extraction. This is our money. Let's take it back. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only, not personal financial advice. All data is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Federal Reserve, and S&P Dow Jones Indices as of 2024 and 2025. Products mentioned are examples, not recommendations. Consult a licensed financial advisor for your specific situation.